So first of all, we'd like to thank you for buying a hedgehog box. I'm just going to run through the bits and pieces that you'll find in the package and then how to put it together. So first of all the bits and pieces, as we unpack it, you'll see that inside here is where all your screws are, and there's your wedge, and these two bits here are to help you put it together. They're just a piece of waste, but it will help you put it together. So just glue this into there, and then we'll attach it in there as well. So perhaps the first thing to do, just glue this into there first. They are different lengths, so you'll find one piece goes in, it's not quite long enough for there, so if you move it around you should find out. I've had this one together already, but you should find out exactly where it fits, so that's going to go in there nicely. So any UPV glue, I've got Gorilla, and you just put a piece of glue in there, and then you should be able to just attach it like so. And then this piece here will go in there. Now if you have it so it's sat on top of a piece of ply, so you will notice that you need to just bend it round a little bit, because it doesn't come straight out, it's at a bit of an angle. And then what you'll see is the floor level is about right, flush at the front. So then all we need to do, I have pre-holed this particular one. Just take your gold screws, and one at the end. There we go. This in, and then one in the middle. If I hadn't thrown it on the floor. So with those two sides on now, and your bit in the middle there, that's where these can start to come into play. So this being the back, it doesn't really matter which way around it goes, but as I said, I've had it together before already. You just push that into there, but that is a nice little spacer that you can use just to put underneath, so that it's the right height for when you're doing everything else. Now what we can do is we can put a screw through the end here first. We're going to be the easiest way. When it comes to putting the screws in all the way around the bottom, if you put a piece of ply just on the bottom there, then you know that your screw just has to be a little bit above that, because then you're going to get it right into the other piece of ply, or the floor, if it's going into the floor. So then we have that one, and then we have this one. So that's that side, and then if I can just spin it around, I'll show you. Again, if you was to put a screw that on the floor, if it was nice and flat, you know that if you just go above it, you're going to get it nicely into the floor. That one there. Then we have one here. And that's how that works. Then the next thing to look at would be putting your hinge on. The hinge basically just needs to go just about in the middle. If you flap it around like this, then that means that you've got it right in the corner there. That's the best way of doing that. What we'll have to do, just briefly, is change the head on my driver, just so that it's a nice small one, because as you probably notice, these are very small screws. Because I've started it already, this is a bit of a cheat, I suppose. But I haven't got my glasses on. There we are. And we can just follow the process of putting all these screws in. Then next, we need to attach the door. So again, we can move that around, just to show you to do that. Best way to do this is really just to slide it over the end, and then just flap that over. Again, not over tightening it. Just keep the door shut, put the wedge in, and it's nice and firm. And then it's just a matter of putting on your roof. Because the roof has been put into a circle while it was packed, obviously the best way to do it is use the shape. So if you just put that down to the floor, that's usually the best way. What you have is an overlap of around about 10 mil each side. So as long as it's fairly even both sides, that's all you need to do. I have found that the best way to do it is start in the bottom corner. I think I need to change the head over again, so we go back to the original one. There we go, that's the first one in. And then what I normally do is fill the gap and then put this one in up on this top corner, and that keeps it a bit even. And you'll see that it's running good at the front, so just check that it's still running good at the front before you put the screw in. So when you put this one in, I find it easier just to go up to the opposite corner, but a couple of things you have to check. Make sure that it's still on the floor, and also that you've only screwed into the floor and not into the door, because you don't want to be screwing the door shut. So you can just pull that open. See, we've not screwed into the door at all, it's into the floor. And as long as you've checked your gap and think that's about even, then what you can then do is put your next screw in top there, and then perhaps come back down to the deck again. Put your screw in the bottom corner here. And then we can make our way at the top. So we just have 3 in the top. Evenly spaced between the 2. And then you have 4 down one side. And then we can actually do that on its back and put the last 2 in, making sure they're onto the floor. So we've got that same rule of thumb again, that if you was to put a piece of wood there, it's just above, then you know it's into the floor. And that's pretty much it. That's how you put it together. Obviously your wedge just goes in, and here you have it. Just another little thing. Obviously the one that you're having has got a little hedgehog motif on there, and it's just to make sure that it's all nicely put together. But there you are. Any comments on perhaps if we can make it easier for you, then please let me know.